All right. Hi, everyone. Happy Wednesday. Thanks for coming to our webinar. I'll wait about a minute before we get started to let people file in. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. Thank you, everyone, for coming to the World of WebRTC webinar, where we will be talking about integrating browser and in-app calling. I'm Marlo. I'm a product marketing manager here at Telnyx, and I'm joined today by Leszek, our solutions engineer, and Rafal, our product manager for programmable voice and WebRTC. And today we'll be talking about defining WebRTC. So what is it? Trends that we're seeing in 2024, different use cases for WebRTC, features, implementation, and SDKs that Telnyx offers. And then we'll finish with some Q&A. This session will be recorded and sent out to everyone afterwards. And if you have a question, please enter it into the Q&A box in Zoom. So we'll start by defining WebRTC. So WebRTC is an open source real-time communications protocol that was developed to enable real-time media communication in browsers and standalone apps. It allows developers to embed voice communications directly into web pages and applications without requiring the end user to install any browser plugins. And the market is growing. The WebRTC market size is projected to grow at a compound annual growth rate of just under 49% between 2022 and 2027. And then for trends that we're seeing, it has become there's been widespread adoption among various industries, such as it's becoming more and more popular in IT, telecom, healthcare, education, media, and entertainment. And then, of course, AI enhancements. AI-driven features like voice recognition, natural language processing, and sentiment analysis can add value to WebRTC applications. And then WebRTC and 5G. So due to the remarkable data speeds, low latency, and increased bandwidth of 5G networks, WebRTC will become the RTC platform of choice. So now I'll pass it off to Leszek to talk a little bit more about WebRTC use cases, features, and implementation.
Thank you, Marlo. So our WebRTC implementation is not a standalone product. In fact, it's a part of the telephony suite of different products, which allows you to communicate between WebRTC clients directly, but also you can establish voice communication to PSTN network over our global network, which is powering our telco services. So Telnyx is also a global carrier, licensed carrier, which is present in multiple countries, providing local connectivity and local calling and full PSTN replacement in multiple countries. So it allows us to build the whole suite of telco services which enable your organization to provide smoothless and very robust voice services around the world. Next slide, please. Telnyx is not providing only WebRTC SDK. As I mentioned, this is a part of our suite of telco services, including voice APIs. So with a set of those products, you can easily incorporate communication features, services into your business applications like CRMs or any kind of the business platforms. With Telnyx WebRTC, you can easily create click-to-call dialers embedded into the web portals, and also you can embed voice communication into your mobile applications, empowering users to initiate seamless voice communications from any kind of your applications. Let's look at different use cases for WebRTC SDK. Of course, it is not limited to 5 use cases we are presenting on that slide. It's just a matter of your real requirements, your use cases, your call flows you would like to cover with WebRTC and other voice services we are providing from Telnyx infrastructure. So in most of the cases, our customers are implementing WebRTC into web browsers to enable voice API API applications, allowing users to make voice calls without needing to install any kind of the additional software like softphones or any kind of the web plugins. You will be able also to provide seamless click-to-call options available in your web browsers. So with that, you can initiate voice communication directly from the web browser as the anonymous user visiting some web portals. And one of the most important implementation we can see where the customers are using WebRTC SDK from our platform is, for instance, number masking, where you can initiate voice call directly from the web browser and provide voice communication to some recipients. WebRTC is not a product allowing just one-to-one communication. In fact, with WebRTC technology, you can establish multi-party voice conferences, but not only, it is also a technology which is providing video communication and also able to exchange different data sets. A lot of telehealth companies are implementing communication with between patients and doctors based on WebRTC for one-to-one communication in the secure way to cover all the local requirements around such critical subjects like telehealth and communication about patients' health, etc. Another use case, very popular, what we see currently, is also possibility to implement in-app calling into the mobile applications, both for voice and video services. So you can easily enable real-time conversations directly from the mobile applications. Next slide, please. What is the feature set we are providing with our WebRTC SDKs? So in our SDKs, we are providing 3 different sets of SDKs for JavaScript, Android, and iOS. Users can have the ability to integrate Telnyx clients SDKs into their web pages using our JS SDK, and also to iOS and Android apps using our mobile SDKs. And with that, you are able also to register SIP credentials for the authentication purposes and place and receive the calls in both ways from all those type of applications. Very important feature which we are providing also out of the box, and this is just a matter of configuration in the customer portal, are push notifications for mobile applications. So both for Android and iOS, push notifications can be configured for our mobile SDKs. allowing users' applications to ring and alert their phones when calls are received, no matter if the application is working in the foreground or it is a killed application. So we need to wake up that application to be able to receive and pick up the incoming call. Also, very important critical part of the implementation for WebRTC SDKs is all about user authentication. So in our infrastructure, we are providing different kind of user authentications. You can stay with the simplest method based on SIP credentials, where you can authenticate users based on the user and password. But it is suggested to be used for small implementations. For bigger number of WebRTC clients implemented on our platform, we are recommending to use our dynamic credentials generation option. So we are providing a specific APIs with which you can create telephonic credentials on the fly using our API requests. Next slide, please. Another option, which is also the best idea to be implemented, is also Java Web Token tokens with which you can authenticate WebRTC clients. So with on-demand credentials, you can also generate web tokens, which can be exchanged with the front-end applications. So you do not need to use any kind and pass in the communication any kind of the usernames or the passwords. You will simply use web tokens. Voice SDK, with Voice SDKs, users can troubleshoot also calls using our SIP call flow debugger. So when you will sign up to our customer portal, you will get access also to very sophisticated troubleshooting tool, which allows you to monitor and check and troubleshoot any kind of the calls based on the SIP call flows, but also you can check different metrics for the voice over IP calls, like QoS, packet loss, jitters, as well as SIP signaling information. And you can also capture the packets, which you can later export if you would like to troubleshoot that communication, for instance, in any kind of the external tools. Also from the customer portal directly, but also with API calls, we do provide access to advanced reporting capabilities. So we can provide metrics, including total number of calls, maximum outbound concurrent calls, connection rates, and call per seconds you are using on our platform. Next slide. As I mentioned at the beginning of our presentation, WebRTC is not a standalone product. Usually our customers are implementing quite sophisticated call flows using our Voice API. So Voice API allows you to fully control any kind of the voice communication from the backend server's perspective. And with Voice API, we are providing a set of commands with which you can provide and support different use cases, different call flows, including, for instance, text-to-speech option, speech-to-text, with voice transcription using different transcription engines. You can integrate with our inference API to build some kind of the conversational AI, like communication with the voice bot using different AI models we are offering from our platform. You can also use our conferencing API to build a conference bridge for voice and also for video. And finally, you can build also smart IVR options with different levels and different options presented in IVR with different choices you can select with DTMF digits. Okay, next slide. How the implementation of WebRTC SDK looks like in our case. In fact, it will take you around 10 minutes to set up first WebRTC client and be able to use our embedded web dialer, with which you can test calls through WebRTC protocol directly from our customer portals. We are also offering a sample app with our web page available publicly. So you can visit a site webrtc.telnyx.com to check our real implementation of WebRTC SDK with different type of authentication, both for voice communication, but also you can try video calls directly from that site. So there are simple 5 steps you need to go through. First of all, of course, please sign up for a Telnyx account in our customer portal. Then you need to create a single credential-based SIP connection to configure how you will be connecting your calls in our platform. Under credentials connections, you will be able also to define, for instance, a preferred codec to be used for voice communication. Next, you need to create at least one outbound voice profile with which we are setting mostly the permissions to call out certain destinations. And in the next step, you need to create on-demand credentials with API calls. And finally, you can create Telnyx WebRTC. You need to authenticate against Telnyx WebRTC platform using your on-demand credentials or a generated token based on on-demand credentials. So those are the 5 only steps you need to go through to start using our WebRTC client. So as I mentioned, in our portfolio, you can find 3 different SDKs, and we are happy to introduce also that currently we do provide also Flutter SDK. If you would like to use that programming language. So you've got choices between JavaScript, iOS, and Android devices with our set of SDKs. So based on your real requirements for the implementation of WebRTC, you will get the same set of features on all the SDKs which we are offering. Next slide. Okay, and right now I'm passing to Rafał, so he will cover the common questions.
Thanks, Leszek. Yeah, I think someone just had a question. Do you have Flutter-based SDKs? And I think we just answered that we do.
Yes, we do.
Perfect. Okay, so before we get into more Q&A questions, let's just start with some common questions when it comes to WebRTC. So Rafał, maybe you can answer these for us. So first question is, how do I integrate WebRTC into my application?
Yes, so Leszek mentioned about that, but let me rephrase once again. So we've got a set of SDKs provided in for different and I would say applications. For the web, we've got JavaScript SDK and as well React Wrapper. For mobile application, we've got Swift for iOS, Swift SDK, and Kotlin for Android. And as well, we have Flutter SDK as a solution for cross-platform applications.
Thank you. And then what browsers and devices support WebRTC?
Yeah, so we support Android and iOS, as I mentioned, and we support most of the major browsers like Chrome, Firefox, Safari, Edge, and Opera. As well of course, on regular computers and mobile versions as well.
Okay, and then can WebRTC be used for group calls or conferences?
Yeah, so our SDK can be easily integrated with Voice API and XML. This backend services offer many features like speech to text, text to speech, and bridging, transferring calls, and as well conferencing. So conferencing is something that allows to make a group calls as well joining the conference, for example, in whisper mode. So many features are there.
Awesome, thanks, Rafal. All right, well, looks like we've got some questions here in our Q&A. So we'll start with, can you provide class 5 features using the SDKs?
So the main feature was provided, I believe, by Leszek on one of the slides. We can go to that. I believe that was slide 7. No, sorry, that was yeah, but the main features are of course support for web and mobile. We've got push notifications support for Android and iOS, dynamic credential generation. We've got as well ability to exchange the client state from backend to using custom headers from client to the mobile applications. And yeah, token-based authentication is another one.
Okay. Let's see here. Do you have Java-based SDK?
Yeah, we've got Kotlin-based SDK that can be used from Java. Yeah, that's no issue for doing that.
Perfect. And then do you charge per minute or per user for app-to-app calling?
We are charging per minute. I mean, when this app to app, of course, it's a minute for each of the leg.
Got it. Then we have, how can I replace it with my current WebSocket-based voice stream for calls?
Yeah, so the WebSocket-based voice streaming, it's more like it's just transferring the media to your application. When you are using Voice SDK, you have more control over that, what's going on. So of course, it is about including the SDK and starting creating application from scratch. But in that case, you will have more control over signaling as well, not just media that will go to your application.
Perfect. Is there any global or per client rate limiting implemented?
Yes, for each client, I would say the rate limiting is not so. I mean, we don't have for each client, I would say, application rate limiting. We've got on our server, and it is per user. And this rate limiting is about having a limit of calls per second that you can make, and number of parallel calls as well. So it is not per client, it is per user. And user doesn't mean the user, I mean like per customer.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and then does it support video as well?
Our voice SDK does not, I mean, you can, I mean, it is not fully supported. We are not recommended to use video. You can try, but it is not fully supported. So it's not something that is it's part of our offering. We've got dedicated video SDK that can be used for conferencing over video. And if you want to use video, we'll rather encourage you to use it than voices.
Okay, any other questions? Let's see. We have a question about the pricing.
Yeah, the pricing can be found on our page. Please go there to review all the details about the pricing, because there are a few aspects of that. If you want to use just WebRTC, in that case it is 0.02 per minute. But if you want to use call control, there's additional price. And if you want to use SIP trunking, I mean PSTN calls, then of course it's price for that. So please review the pricing. It is on our telnyx.com/ I believe pricing. That is the.
Yeah, I just published in the chat session a link to our pricing page. Yeah, so you can find web and in-app calling option there, which is covering WebRTC calling.
Okay. As I get into my development, who is the point of contact for software developers from a voice SDK standpoint?
Okay, of course, the first point of contact is our support, and they are passing the requests to us. And depending on that, if you need any live support or not, I mean, we are first providing some recommendations, but if that's not enough, in many cases, we are just arranging the calls between engineers and the customers to resolve their issues.
You can also directly contact our sales team. We've got a group of sales engineers, including me. We are happy to support you from the early stages. But in any case, if we need to engage our development engineers to provide you some sample codes, etc., of course, we'll do that to support you.
Yeah, I believe that we can touch to this first. I mean, it's not question or more statement about internal disconnections. Yes, so at the moment we are working to improve that. On the Web SDK, there's a functionality for reconnecting to existing session, experimental functionality. It was released last week. So if you are using web, please update to the newest version. That should improve that. It is experimental. I mean, we still do some quality assurance for it. It might be improved in the future, but it's already there. So please try it. For mobile, we are still working on that. It should be out within next 2 weeks.
Thank you. Okay, then we have Mohammed saying he's facing some issues with his account, which I think Leszek shared. We can pass this on to support. Okay, and then is there any SIP proxy need, or your WebRTC is directly connected to PBX RSS?
Yeah, so Leszek, you may help me here, but I believe that the SIP proxy is needed because we are working on the SIP protocol level. Yeah, so in order to integrate with our SIP, you need to have SIP proxy. Yeah, am I right, Leszek?
Yes, so if you would like to interconnect with our telco services over SIP trunks, of course, you can establish a SIP trunk to our telco infrastructure, and using our voice API, you can transfer the calls to WebRTC clients using SIP URIs, which will be created based on on-demand credentials or SIP connections. Yeah.
Okay, then we have, I'm not sure if this is a question. It says solution for Indian audience. Maybe if you could clarify what the question is there, that would be great. And then we have to make a proper connection between caller and SIP. Do we have any general pre-checklist?
Yes, I believe that Leszek mentioned about that. We can, Leszek, I don't know you have by hand the link to user guide for. Sure, or maybe give me a second.
Haven't got that.
And then we're almost at time here. So we'll take just a couple more questions. How about a question here? It's pure SIP over WebRTC, or do we have a custom API?
This is a custom solution. We are sending custom. This is not SIP.js. This is WebRTC solution with custom messages sent between the client and our server.
Okay. And then can we connect our own SIP trunks as well, or only have to use Telnyx SIP trunks?
You need to do that over our SIP trunk. So you can integrate your SIP trunk, but over our SIP trunk.
Yeah. But of course, you will be able to create the SIP trunk by yourself using our portal. So it's up to you which will be the endpoint of that SIP trunk. You can terminate that to any locally installed PBX or contact center platform or to any cloud services. But of course, that SIP trunk must be pointing to our infrastructure.
Okay, we're just about at time, so I'm going to move forward here with some resources you can take a look at. You can sign up on our Mission Control portal for free at telnyx.com/sign-up. Check out our developer center at developers.telnyx.com for our API documentation. Also our GitHub repo and our resource center with blogs, release notes, and demos. And then finally, our knowledge center at support.telnyx.com. If you have any more questions, please feel free to reach out at telnyx.com/contact us and say that you were at this webinar, and we would love to chat with you and help you with whatever you need. So thank you very much, and everyone have a great rest of your day.
Oh, one last thing from my side, because there
Yeah.
was a question about Slack channel. You can contact us on Slack channel. Well, I passed it on the chat.
Perfect. Thanks, Rafal. Okay. Everyone have a great rest of your day, and thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye-bye.